Welcome to BMAC Math Tutorial. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for freshly brewed content. Hi, this is a question from CSI NET 2019 December session. It's a question from real analysis from part C. Here we are given that Px is an odd degree polynomial. Please note that the word odd is bold facet since it is going to play a decisive role in solving this problem. And g is a continuous function from R to R. Then we will have to see which of these options are true or false. So let us first of all see some facts about an odd degree polynomial. Px is an odd degree polynomial. Let us write Px as this: an to the power n plus an minus 1 xn minus 1 plus dot 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 a naught, where ai's are all real numbers. Now Px is an odd degree polynomial, and since the complex roots of any real polynomial occur in conjugate pairs, so Px equals to 0 has to have at least one real root. Now we claim that P attains every finite real number at least once. So for this, let us consider a finite real number a. Then Px equals to a, or Px minus a, is also an odd degree polynomial, and it can be written as Px minus a is equals to as this shown in the screen. Then this is also an odd degree polynomial, and Px minus a or equals to 0, or Px equals to a being an odd degree polynomial has at least one real root. So let us summarize whatever we have seen for an odd degree polynomial. First of all, every odd degree polynomial in R has at least one real root. Next, the range of every odd degree polynomial is the whole real line or the open interval minus infinity to plus infinity. And lastly, every odd degree polynomial is unbounded. Unbounded in the sense that it is both unbounded above and below. Now coming back to the question, let us start with option 2. It is given that if g is a polynomial function, then there exists x naught belongs to R such that p of x naught equals to g of x naught. So for this, let us consider px equals to x and gx equals to minus 1 minus x square. Then finding a point x naught where px naught equals to gx naught is same as finding a root of the equation px minus gx equals to 0. Now px minus gx is equals to 1 plus x square, which is a quadratic polynomial, and we can show by finding the discriminant of the quadratic polynomial that it has no real root. Thus, there does not exist any point x naught for which px naught equals to gx naught, and hence option 2 is false. Similarly, since option 2 is false, we can straight away say that option 1 is also false. Option 1 is said that there exists a point x naught belongs to R such that px naught equals to gx naught, but we have already given a particular example of p and g for which this is not true, and hence 1 is also false. And for option 4, we are given that there exists a unique point x naught belongs to R such that p of x naught is equals to g of x naught. Well, we have already seen an example of p and g for which px is equals to gx does not have any real root, but we can show by two other examples that this point 4 is not true. So for this, we consider px equals to x cube and gx equals to x. Then px equals to gx implies that x's cube is equals to x, which is same as x's cube minus x equals to 0, and which gives x is equals to 0 and plus minus 1. So we see that px is equals to gx may not have a unique root x naught in R. So option 4 is also false. Now, since options 1, 2 and 3 are false, we can straight away say that option 3 is false, but we will see that it is since 1, 2 and 4 are false, we can straight away say that option 3 is true, but We will see that how this is possible. For option 3, we are given that if g is a bounded function, then there exists a point x0 in R such that p of x0 equals to g of x0. So let us consider g as a bounded function, and of course g is continuous as is given in the question. Now since g is a bounded function, so there exists a positive m for which modulus of g is less or equals to m. This can also be written as minus of m less equals to g less equals to m, which is true for all x in R. Now we claim that there exists some point x0 in R for which p of x0 equals to g of x0. Now let us assume that this is not true. That is, there does not exist any x0 in R for which px0 is equals to gx0. So px0 is not equals to gx0 for all x in R, and which is equivalently written as px minus gx is not equals to 0 for all x in R. And since px and gx are both continuous on R, so px minus gx is also continuous on R. Now, intermediate value theorem says that either px minus gx is all throughout greater than 0 or px minus gx is all throughout less than 0 for all x in R. Intermediate value theorem says that for any continuous function f defined on the real line R, if fx is greater than 0 for some point a on R and fx is less than 0 for some point b on R, then there has to have a point say C between the points a and b such that fc is equals to 0. So using this theorem, we can say that either px minus gx is all throughout greater than 0 or px minus gx is all throughout less than 0. Now, let us assume that px minus gx is all throughout greater than 0. So, we will have px is greater than gx for all x in R, and since we have already shown by the boundedness of gx that gx is greater equals to m for all x, gx is less equals greater equals to minus m for all x in R, and this shows that the range of f is bounded below, which is a contradiction. Similarly, for the case px minus gx is less than 0 for all x in R, we can show that px is less than gx, which is less equals to m for all x in R, and this again shows that the range of px is bounded above. Now p is an odd degree polynomial, and we have already seen that any odd degree polynomial has range all the real line R. So this is a contradiction, and hence there must exist a point x0 in R for which p of x0 is equals to g of x0. Hence option 3 is correct, and 3 is the only correct option of this question. Thanks for watching.